What's up everybody, Steve here. Today I want to talk about an article that I came across pertaining to home buyers are buying down the rate to make things more affordable when they're purchasing a home. And I want to talk something specifically about this and what you can do if you guys are in the market to buy a home. And also, if things are a little tight and it's kind of unaffordable and you guys are really scratching pennies to get together to figure out that buy down rate and exactly where you need to be in terms of payment, but maybe a little uncomfortable with that payment, right now might not be the best time to buy. So I'm just throwing that out there. You want to make sure that you're comfortable with whatever payment you're getting into, because it's not just that payment. You guys are on the hook for hundreds of thousands of dollars that ultimately could work against you if in fact something were to happen, some unforeseen circumstance that would happen during the time of you guys having this loan. And whether that's a job loss, death in the family, things do come up. And if you're in a negative equity position, then you try to sell, it may be difficult for you to sell that property because you might have to cut a check at closing. You might not have money to cut a check at closing. So let's take a look at this article. It says borrowers opt for permanent rate buy downs amid affordability challenges. Home price growth and mortgage rates have come down from the peaks in 2022, but affordability still remains a challenge. In turn, borrowers who are entering the market are leaning heavily toward buying down their first lien interest rates by paying points up front. In the third week of January, 57% of all borrowers who locked in rates paid at least a half of a point, 44% paid at least a full point, and nearly a quarter lowered their mortgage rates with buy downs of 2 points or more, according to Black Knight. Purchase borrowers paid an average of 1.16 points. For those looking to pull cash out of their homes, the cost was nearly twice that, with an average of 2.06 points. People who are refinancing right now, something is off, something is terribly wrong, most likely, because if you're doing a cash out refi or a refi right now and you didn't take advantage of low rates a year ago, 2 years ago, then you might be in some trouble trying to free up the equity in your home. It's probably not a good situation for those who are doing that, unless you're very, very strategic on what you're doing with that money in a cash out refi. Now, other people who are buying down rates, my suggestion is in many areas, you guys are in the driver's seat as a buyer. Now, that's not necessarily all areas. I know there's some areas in the United States that are still increasing in price and sellers still have a high advantage in terms of negotiations. But I would highly recommend that you guys try to work on a seller contribution that would go toward your closing costs, that would include any kind of closing costs pertaining to the mortgage, like a buy down. So if you guys could negotiate that into the deal, it's going to be less money out of your pocket for closing costs. You put the seller on the hook to go ahead and work on trying to get that taken care of, so you can go ahead and basically get a better mortgage rate. Now, mortgage rates, they're still not out of control. They're not 10, 20%. So, I would just be cautious again in terms of the value that you guys are paying, because right now values are still really high and you have a moderately higher mortgage rate than we did, a year ago, 2 years ago. So I'd say just be very careful. Now, the last part of this article says softening home prices continue to impact borrowers' equity positions, with a mortgage holder equity falling by $2.3 trillion, a 13% decline over the past 2 quarters. Now, I was saying this in other videos that, there's a lot of talk of the trillions and trillions of dollars of people with home equity. And it's the narrative that the mainstream media is pushing, that people's balance sheets are looking so great because they have this generous amount of home equity in their properties. And unfortunately, like I've said in previous videos, it's not a realized gain. If you didn't sell that property or maybe even do a cash out refi, you guys are not realizing that gain of that equity position. And as you can see, we're starting to see that equity diminish just like that. And unfortunately, I think people are getting this false sense of security that their home, in most cases, their largest asset, is just filled with, you know, tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars of this cushioning, that could evaporate pretty quickly. As quickly as it went up, it could go down as quickly as it went up. So anyway, I'm going to leave this in the description below for you guys. And as always, I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you guys on the next video. See you.